I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is the American Lung Association. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Dance. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is the American Lung Association, and we have with us herself, the Executive Director, Maureen Rovas. Good morning, Maureen.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us on today.
Well, thank you for being here. Now, Maureen, a lot of times when our viewers tune into the program, they're learning something new. And so recently we had a few phone calls from individuals who are experiencing lung conditions. So we asked the American Lung Association, yourself, to come in and fill us in some information about yourself and the American Lung Association.
Great. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to come on. I'm the Executive Director with the American Lung Association here in Michigan, and it is a pleasure to be on just to share a little bit more about what the Lung Association does for our community, as well as helping make sure that everybody has healthy lungs. So that's really our mission at heart. We are here to help those that are impacted by lung disease, as well as preventing lung disease. And of course, we can do that through our work here in the community. We're focused on education, research, and advocacy. And if you didn't know, there's actually more than 1.5 million people here in the state of Michigan that are impacted by lung disease. So it touches many individuals.
Wow. So with that being said, we know that there's various different lung conditions. Can you tell us about a few of them?
Sure. I think, some may know lung cancer as one of the leading cancers here in our community, but also might become top of mind is our COPD. So that is with your pulmonary system, and so that's an obstruction for individuals. So a lot of people think about COPD. Emphysema also falls underneath that. It's something that is more recently diagnosed, and we're actually able to study a little bit more and provide more treatments for is pulmonary fibrosis. And of course, many individuals are impacted by asthma as well. So that also is something that we want to make sure we're keeping lungs healthy for in the community.
Okay. Now with the COPD, that one in particular, that's chronic pulmonary disease?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that it definitely is something that is top of mind. Here in Michigan, we have nearly 700,000 individuals that have been diagnosed and suffer from COPD. And so we want to make sure that we're here to support them and make sure that they have access to the resources and the correct information. So that's definitely a first start for having someone help get through that diagnosis.
Okay, because for many years that you guys have been around, something about COPD stands out because a lot of people seem like, okay, well, I know we've heard of lung cancer, we've heard of emphysema, we've heard of bronchitis, we've heard of asthma, but the COPD one just seemed like I won't say brand new, but it seemed like it's more on the rise now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's exactly on the rise. I'd have to kind of look in with statistics. But one thing that I do see that out in our community more is due to great treatments and access to portable oxygen tanks, we do see many more individuals that are suffering from COPD out in our community more, but also willingness to talk about it. And I think that bravery that they have to talk about a disease that they suffer with others brings awareness to everybody, but also lets them know that you can still lead a life that is out in the community and get access that you need to continue to breathe okay.
Okay, well, I know you guys have a couple of wonderful programs that people know very little about. One of them is Better Breathers Club.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Okay.
That is one of our signature programs. It's our longest standing program here at the American Lung Association, and definitely one that I love. The reason why is it creates that sense of community for individuals that have a lung disease. So members are part of this very welcoming support group that meets on a monthly basis. We actually have 24 clubs throughout the state of Michigan. So individuals can visit our website, lung.org, where they can go online and look up the different clubs that are in their area. And so those meet on a monthly basis. They are facilitated by some amazing volunteers who really do care for these patients. But what's great is they get to come in and meet other individuals who might have COPD or lung cancer or pulmonary fibrosis that are going through something similar. We see a lot of especially newly diagnosed patients in there, so that's great for them because that they can see that hope and know that they are part of a community. And these clubs feature different speakers that come in, so it can be related to their lung health. It could be somebody who is looking to get a little bit more information about healthy eating, making sure that they know how to use their oxygen tanks. I recently visited a local club in Royal Oak, and the great thing is that there was somebody in there teaching them how to do yoga in a chair because that moving and stretching, it was really great for them. And at the beginning, everybody was really hesitant, and they had this great facilitator. And by the end, everybody had learned some new things. And I think we're afraid to kind of step out of their comfort zone and try something new because they were part of a community learning together.
That's great. Now, I got to ask you this. So, you know, someone may not have access to a computer. Is there a phone number?
There is, and that's the great thing is we do love to talk about our lung helpline, which is 1-800-LUNG-USA. So again, that's 1-800-LUNG-USA. So super easy to remember. So they're going to go ahead and call up and talk to one of our counselors who also have a respiratory therapy background. So they can access all of the programs that are here in our community and can connect them, help them find a club, can also answer any questions that they have. This number is great because if somebody is newly diagnosed and they don't have access to a computer, they probably still have questions after they leave their doctor's office. So now that they know, they can call us and get trusted and reliable information about their diagnosis, as well as some resources to help them through that.
That is great. That is really wonderful. Now, let me ask you this. Along with being a support group for the person with the condition, is there an extension for the family? So you may have children or, you know, the significant other that's really going through it because they don't know what to do.
Yeah, all of our Better Breathers clubs are open to caregivers and family members who may have questions. But I also like to encourage caregivers, again, if they have access to a computer or online, to give us a call. But online, we have a community known as Inspire. And within that group, it's an online-based community. And so it's specific to the type of lung disease or information that that caregiver or patient might be going through. So they can start a new thread within a forum. They can look up and search by a certain topic. So they know that there are individuals that are exactly like them in their shoes. And it creates that sense of community and also links them to information that would help them. So many times as caregivers, we want to also understand what our loved one is going through and also perhaps bring back some resources. And so this is a great community. So again, by calling us or going online, you can ask for Inspire. There are communities known like around COPD, asthma, lung disease, as well as someone who may be trying to quit smoking.
Okay, well, Maureen, I'm going to have you take a break after all that. You did a wonderful job. So I tell you what, we're going to come back with some more great information about American Lung Association. We'll be right back.
Everybody needs a helping hand. Take a look at your fellow man. Tell me, what can I do?
Courtesy. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life.
3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
Mental health disorders are serious and treatable conditions. Isolation, loneliness, and changes in behavior could be signs that someone you know is suffering from depression. Learn how to recognize when family or friends are in crisis and what you can do to help. Mental health does matter. Contact the Resource and Crisis Helpline with your concerns at 1-800-231-1127.
And welcome back to the second half of the show. For those of you who are just not joining us, we have Maureen Rovas. She is the Executive Director of the American Lung Association. Now, I know some of you know someone in your family or yourself or a neighbor that is in need of some services from the American Lung Association. So get your pen and paper out, take down this information, give them a call, or you can go online, take a look at some of the resources that they offer online. With that being said, I have some questions to ask Maureen because I know somebody at home is saying, I hope you ask that. All right. So Maureen, I had to ask you now, some people, well, tell me, can you tell us when the doctor actually sees a person and then they have been told that they have this rare disease, how does your agency receive them?
Yeah, so many times they come to us through calling our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-LUNG-USA, or they hop online to lung.org and usually find our number or can chat with one of our counselors. But, really we're there to provide information that's reliable. So we know that having information is very powerful, and we encourage all of our patients and their caregivers to really, they're their advocate for their lung health and overall well-being. And so what we can do is somebody who maybe, let's say, left a doctor's appointment and they received a lung diagnosis, maybe it's COPD or lung cancer, and they don't know where to go from here. And so many times they'll call in and they'll reach a local office first, and we will do transfer to our lung helpline where they're connected to a counselor, again, somebody with a respiratory therapy background, so they're talking with a medical professional. And from there, we really start with the questions that they have. But what we love doing is just really making sure that they have information in their hands that can tell them a little bit more about that diagnosis, because many times you get the quick mini version in a doctor's office, or in that moment you're a little bit in the fog and you don't really hear everything that the medical community is saying, and that doctor, you're still processing. Right. So what's great is we can kind of walk them through over the phone, make sure that we can mail them or show them where on our website that they can get more information just to read up. And so from there, we might be talking with them about different treatment options. We might be connecting them to an online support community so that they know that they're not alone in what they're going through. But what we do hope is that this is an ongoing conversation that they have with their doctor. We encourage them to go back with questions. So I heard about this, I heard about that, so really being that advocate for themselves and making sure that they're armed with all the information.
So what are a few of the warning signs that a person may be experiencing a lung condition?
Yeah, so many times individuals might have a chronic cough. So this is a cough that's lasting longer than a month. It's sticking around, it's persistent. And I will say it does not mean by any of these symptoms that you have a lung disease. But really what I'm encouraging is if you've got something going on, it's probably a great time to go in and have that conversation with your doctor. So this is your body telling you something's happening. It may be, that mucus or that phlegm that's sticking around again for another month. Shortness of breath, so maybe it's harder to recover, maybe after a walk or climbing the stairs at home, or maybe just when you're sitting still and it doesn't feel like your normal breathing pattern. Those are just a few that, again, we just want you to have some open dialogue with your doctor just to check on you and make sure everything's okay.
Now, your program, Saved by Scan?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this is a partnership with the Ad Council, definitely something that I am very passionate about myself, because I think it's about, arming the community with education and, again, being their advocate. So this is called our Saved by the Scan initiative, and it has its own website, but you can get connected to ours, but it's savedbythescan.org, so super easy to remember. But this is great for anybody who is a current smoker or a recent smoker who might be worried about lung cancer. And they're not really sure what to do or what the proper tests are, so they can hop on that website, take a quick, easy test. It will help determine their eligibility for a low-dose CT scan, which is a great way to find a lung cancer diagnosis early. And that's what we want to do to make sure that they have the best outcome. So many times we're afraid. And so first step is take this quiz and see if you're eligible. And from there, go again and have that conversation with your doctor based on those quiz results. Use this as a way to open up that dialogue. We know it's that bravery just to take those few things. But also what's on there, again, is that reliability. So on there, they're going to find accredited lung cancer screening locations in their community. They can plug in their zip code and see where they go, because you want to make sure that, again, you're having the right tests at the right location. So it's all accredited, a special accreditation across the nation. So again, easy connect with them. Go have a conversation with your doctor if this is something you're worried about.
Well, you make it sound really easy, but okay. The person at home is like, no, it didn't happen that way. But
yeah.
It could.
It could, yeah. And it's just about step one, take the quiz.
Right.
See what the quiz has to say. This is just a great way if you are a current smoker or you are past one and that's kind of weighing on you, that little voice in your head says, I wonder. This is a great place to start.
But how is it every now and then you hear about someone who never smoked and they have a lung disease?
Yeah, well, smoking isn't the only way. Many times you may have suffered from another, like let's say pneumonia, or you've had influenza. Those also can cause a lung disease. You may, in your job or in your home, have chemical fumes that may cause that, maybe at the work site or out in the community. And then also radon. So that is something that may not be on everybody's radar, but I like to make sure that it is. It
Now, what is
actually,
that?
yeah, so radon is a gas that could be trapped in your home, and it is actually an environmental cause, but also for any lung disease, but also for non-smokers. It's the number two cause. Radon is for a lung cancer diagnosis. So again, what do I do? So a lot of times people not sure how to test their home, and so that's a buildup of gas. There are many inexpensive tests that are easy to do.
Does that fall under the carbon monoxide device? when you have that?
Not quite the same, but there are these easy test kits that you can get. And again, you can connect with us at the Lung Association. If you actually head onto our website, lung.org/radon, you can learn a little bit more about radon gas and how it might be built up in your home. Doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, but you know that what basically first step is just get your house tested. Very easy. There are inexpensive kits out there. Many times our local community partners also have access to those.
I'm definitely not familiar with radon, but okay, that's
Yeah.
something that the viewers are going to be asking about. What about Legionnaire's disease? Is that part of the American Lung
That is
Association?
not one of the diseases that we focus on, but yeah, I appreciate you asking.
Okay. Well, you know, it just has the name of it. Sound like it's a part of the group, but yeah. So, okay. But that radon, I'm not familiar with that one at all. I'm going to take a look into that because
Yeah.
somebody's at home going to be asking.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and if they are, give us a call. We'd be happy to talk with you a little bit more. Hop on our website, search radon. It's just a great way just to get
Radon.
yourself
Okay.
educated and learn a little bit more, but we can also connect you to the next step so that you can test your air quality in your home just to make sure you are keeping your lungs as healthy as you can.
Okay, okay. Now, can you give us a few steps or things that people can do to protect their lungs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think prevention is part of our mission, that we want to help keep our lungs healthy. So we talked about fumes, so whether removing them from your home or your workplace. We probably thinking about those signs that we see when we're driving. They say an ozone alert day. You know, that's when it is not the healthiest to be outside. So limiting your time when pollution is high in our communities. A lot of the work that we do is actually also focused on air quality, and that's why. So limiting yourself when you're outside during those ozone days, keeping your home safe, but also thinking about that prevention side when it comes to vaccines. A lot of times people don't put the two of those together, but we do think about two vaccines that I always encourage individuals, especially if they're 65 or older or might have a chronic illness like another lung disease or heart disease or diabetes, and that's your influenza and your pneumonia vaccine. So always making sure you're having, again, that conversation with your doctor, but we highly encourage those by getting those vaccines and avoiding both the flu and pneumonia. You will help to keep your lungs healthier.
Wow, that's a lot. But you know what? It's not impossible. It's not impossible. But you know, people are not thinking on the day-to-day basis that, you know, hey, I'm not a smoker, so what I got to do anything else for? But everything counts.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I know, ladies and gentlemen, you're like, no, don't take a commercial break now. Yeah, we got to. Well, we'll be right back. Maureen's going to ask some more questions for us. We'll be right back.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Hello.
Chrissy, hey.
Hey, Alex.
How are you?
Alex? Alex? Hello. I'm Mrs. Garcia. We've heard a lot about you.
He is cute. Stop.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
And welcome back to the last half of the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you all are sitting there with a pen and paper. Please. Definitely you want to take down some information. Maureen is going to give you those phone numbers again to the American Lung Association and the websites of
Saved by the Scan.
Saved by the Scan and Better
Breathers Club.
Say those two, you got to know, okay? Now, anytime that you miss the information from our guests. You know to call us, 1-800-323-5336. 1-800-323-5336, Twitter, hashtag Marsha, and I will definitely get you in touch with our guests if you should miss them. And if you have a show idea, you need to call me and tell me what you're thinking, and I will respond. All right, so Maureen, I want you to give us those phone numbers and your websites because somebody's looking.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I know they were looking for their pen earlier. So number is pretty easy to remember, but jot it down. It's 1-800-LUNG-USA. So again, it's 1-800-LUNG-USA. Website pretty easy to remember, lung.org. So it's a great place. Remember either of those, and we can get you connected to an online resource or talk with you over the phone. We'll make sure that we have all the information you need. But if we piqued your interest in learning a little bit more about that lung cancer screening, again, that website is savedbythescan.org.
Savedbythescan.org. And the ones who are experiencing some breathing difficulty want to be in the club, and that's the Better
Breathers Club. Yes,
Breathers
great
Club.
support groups.
Okay. Now, you know what? We didn't talk about volunteers, but we know you need some or always accept some. So tell us, is there a need for volunteers?
Yeah, like many, organizations, we really cannot do what we need to do in the community to maximize our impact without the help of amazing volunteers that come to us. So a lot of different ways to engage with volunteers. So we have opportunities in our office, but also with our signature events. And so really why that's key is, we operate on a daily basis with the amount of staff that we need to help our mission and programs take place. And then to put on these amazing signature events, we invite the community to come out and support us. And so why, if they themselves are just looking for a great event to be a part of, support a trusted nonprofit brand right there, come with us. But especially if you've been touched by lung disease yourself or know a loved one, this is a great way for you to get involved. And it really helps us maximize our resources in the community to move our mission further faster. So we do have 2 signature events, and I did bring some t-shirts with me today because they're kind of fun visuals. So these are t-shirts that our participants get, but we also usually have t-shirts for our volunteers too. But we have 2 events that are signature events here in Michigan and across the nation. So this first t-shirt is part of our Fight for Air Climb event. So this is a stair climb event that takes place in skyscrapers across the nation.
Wow.
So our event in Michigan takes place in downtown Detroit in February at the end of the month every year. And so what's really great is while individuals are training to climb stairs, they also are raising funds for the American Lung Association. So of course this is a great way as a volunteer to come out and support them.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a really great way. And a lot of times people hear stair climb event and they're like, what? And I tell them, if you can walk a mile, you can participate in a stair climb event. But if you aren't sure and just want to be part of a very cool, unique event, this is a great way to come out. We need volunteers that help with setup, help with check-in and greeting our guests, helping just to make the event flow come together. So this is a really great event to get involved in, especially in the winter if you're looking for something to do. And then in the fall, we have our Lung Force Walk. And so this is part of our Lung Force initiative, which has just celebrated its 5th anniversary here. And so what is with the Lung Force initiative is it's focused on lung cancer, specifically in women. Anybody who's been impacted with a lung disease can participate, but why we chose to focus on this event specifically is that lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer. And so many times people think about other types of cancer being on the radar, but lung cancer isn't something on your radar. So lung cancer, actually, there are more deaths than if you combined breast, colon, and prostate cancer. So a lot of people didn't know that, especially in women. We're always worried about taking care of other people and other individuals. We think, oh, maybe that's a men's disease. And so our first initiative is just to make sure that it's on your radar. So a lot of the things we talked about today, hopefully lung health is now on your radar, but we still want to make sure lung cancer is up there. So
no, I mean, stop you, but I have one particular question. We talk about lung disease and emphysema and things like that, but what is your age criteria? Is there, because I know children have asthma and things like that, so the American Lung Association, do you have like an age criteria that you take care of?
Yeah, so I know we talked a lot about maybe it might be impacting somebody later in their life, but really asthma we really see prominent in children. So there isn't a specific age that we focus on. So lung disease does not discriminate on a certain age, and so asthma sometimes is top of mind. We do get a lot of calls from parents and school nurses looking to get more information. So it might be a parent who is newly diagnosed. We have a great online tutorial to walk someone through a new asthma diagnosis. And so a lot of times we see individuals, but maybe parents or school administrators that are looking to get more information. A lot of times we'll get school nurses too that will reach out to us looking to get information to share with the family. So, you know, lung disease, lung cancer, all ages. So, yep, absolutely.
I mean, because I figure, you know, if children have asthma, it probably is a part of the American Lung Association.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I want to go over some of the things here on the table.
Yeah.
And one in particular, say, find support. Now, this is a good one, ladies and gentlemen. So if someone wanted some information from you in the mail, what would they get from this?
So that's really great. So our Find Support is kind of a nice recap of everything we talked about today. It starts with our online community, so that Inspire community we talked about. It also will take you through what you might find through calling our lung helpline. So at our lung helpline, not only can you get resources to help you with a diagnosis or learning more information, but let's say you're looking to quit smoking, you're not sure how to get started, you're not sure which programs are out there, that's instantly something that we can help you with.
Okay, and this one here, lung cancer.
Yeah, so lung cancer, I think when individuals hear that diagnosis, they're not really sure what that means. So this, along with a few other brochures we can connect them with, that'll just walk them a little bit more through like what is lung cancer, what are typically the treatment options one might expect, and really just kind of talk through, now that you've been diagnosed, what else should you be doing to keep yourself healthy?
Okay, okay. Okay, and then the freedom, let's see, what do we have here?
Freedom from smoking.
Freedom from smoking. Okay.
Yeah, so this is another one of our signature programs that I am very passionate about talking to our community about, because we talked about all those ways to keep your lungs healthy. Quitting smoking is the first thing you can do. It's never too late to quit. So this is one of a few different resources we can connect individuals to, but this is one of our programs. And what's great is it's available online as well as in person. So an individual who's looking to get out in the community and can be part of a group, or they want to get some great resources, reach out for that.
Okay, and last but not least, and you have so much good information on here, I hate to say last but not least, but so this one here is our signature program.
Yeah, so that kind of walks us through some of those programs we talked about. So for our asthma basics program, those Better Breathers clubs, so those support communities that are in person. It also talks us through that freedom from smoking to help someone quit smoking, as well as the Inspire online community.
Okay. Well, Maureen, I'm telling you, I'm just overwhelmed with all the great information that you brought us today, and I got to ask you, will you come back and see us again?
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, because a lot of people are not, really familiar with the various different lung conditions that are out there, and then they're limited in their scope in trying to find resources. So today, you educated myself as well as many others, and I'm hoping, ladies and gentlemen, as you're sitting there watching the show, that you will take in consideration either volunteer sometime, or to definitely pass the information on to someone that you can help out to feel better by the day, even if it's just to go to a support group with them to help them know that you can live with many of these diseases or conditions and not feel like it's the end of the world. But we can't, we can't take you there and tell you, hey, it's going to be all right, but we at least give you insight on that you can live with these conditions if you're just willing to give it a shot.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So thank you again, and I hope you come back and see us.
Yes, we'll do.
All right, and keep us posted of the events. We'd love to come.
Great, wonderful. We'd love to have you out.
All right, thank you. Well, you know who I am. I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. And what do I always say? First of all, give me a call, 1-800-323-5336, Twitter hashtag. Tell me what you like, and you can tell me what you don't like, and I'll respond. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. And what do I always say? If you know a person with a disability, or if you just have a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host. Thank you.